Hello friends! So today I have another swatch video for you, or I guess color chart video. We're going to be doing two different types of color charts. One is called a two-color chart, which, I mean, maybe other people call it something else, but basically you're mixing two colors in a gradient. And the other one is a color wheel. If you would like to download these templates, you can use the link below in the description, and they're printable, so you can see that I just printed them and now I'm using them. So for the two color mixing chart, basically you're thinking about these as individual rows. On one side you have one color, and on the opposite end you have the other color. And in between those two, you are trying to mix a gradient between the two. It's really tricky with gouache, and you can see mine is very messy and streaky and just, you know, kind of a hot mess, but the whole point is to practice making and mixing those gradients. And some tips that I figured out quite quickly is that sometimes you need to put the color down and see how it dries before you can kind of see if it's the correct color in the line of the gradient. So occasionally I go back and I paint over certain squares, and I actually even painted over a couple the following day when I looked at it again. So if you don't get it right the first time, don't worry. Just kind of, the more you do it, the more you learn how to mix the color and what it's going to look like when it dries. So be kind to yourself. And the cool thing about these is that you can just cut them out, and they're really portable, so you can take them with you if you're painting outside and quickly reference them. And it means that you have a really great set of mixes with very few colors. So if you want to use a limited color palette, these are a good choice for color charts to help you with your reference. And then we have the color wheel. And basically what you do is choose three colors. I'm using three primaries, so a yellow, a red, and a blue, and you can pick whichever ones you want out of your pile of colors. But basically this ring that you see, it's kind of the middle ring if you don't include the center of the wheel. This is where the solid color goes, so this is pretty much straight out of the tube. And I recommend writing the name of the color first so you don't forget where they go. And then as you get closer to the center of the wheel, you add a little bit of white, and this will give you a pastel ring in the color wheel. And you can mix your color on your palette, or you can do it on the paper, but with gouache I definitely recommend pre-mixing on the palette. And then in the outer ring, you add a little bit of black to each of those colors. Another piece of advice is to make sure you clean your brush thoroughly between each mix. And also, again, feel free to go over each square or each block as many times as you need to get a solid color. For me, it sometimes is a little tricky, and I have to go over it 2 or 3 times. Otherwise, it looks a little bit too transparent for my taste. Then between those primary colors, we're going to be doing mixes. So here you can see me mixing blue and green. I mean blue and yellow to make green. And next we're going to do the areas between the yellow and the red. So in the area right next to the yellow, we're going to lean that orange a little bit more yellow. And again, you add the black to the outer ring and the white to the inner ring. In the area closer to the red side, we're going to make sure that orange is leaning a little bit more towards red. So you probably get the idea by now. You can fill in your charts, and one suggestion I have is make sure you mix enough of the color to fill the box, because it's really difficult to color match to a dried color. And if you don't have enough to fill the box, you probably just have to paint over the whole box again with the new mix. So that's my biggest suggestion for doing this. I learned my lesson the hard way. So feel free to download these templates and let me know if you run into any problems, but otherwise I hope you guys have fun making your charts. I find the color wheel to be really useful for giving me a nice variety of what is possible with 3 colors. Even a little bit more useful than the typical square mixing charts. So let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time.